What comes to mind first when you hear Periphery? In my case, it's out of this world riff game, bass so filthy you have to clean your ears after each listen, drummer who usually plays 3 other songs at the same time, and obviously vocals that are able to melt ice with sheer power and range. Would I be wrong if I said that all of that still applies to Periphery's new album Hail Stan? Probably not. Because Periphery's 4th studio album, Hail Stan, has all of that multiplied by 4. And you know what, since this is a Periphery review, I'm ditching all of the structure that I usually have for my reviews because fuck the establishment, am I right? At a first glance and listen, I thought everything was mixed fine. Despite sometimes overwhelming fuckery of riffs and the groove, you don't lose clarity and you actually understand what's happening in the music. Well, most of the time. I think Hail Stan sounds great and rich. Extra props for that sound of the bass. It fucking kicks. What really impresses me about Periphery's music writing is their authentic style. When you listen to Periphery, you don't need a second chance to guess who the hell are you listening to. They have developed such a unique and truly authentic sound that no other band on the modern scene had. There are a lot of influences on the album. The one that I caught the most was Meshuggah and their nasty grooves. Album features a really wide range of heaviness and softness. You get chaotic, heavy, brutal, disgusting, Blood Eagle, Church Burner, Follow Your Ghost. You got slightly less heavy and more Periphery style, Sentient Glow with slight features of classic metal and metalcore grooves, all of that in the first 30 seconds of the song. You also got Garden in the Bones, which is all over the place in terms of sound, but in my honest opinion has the best chorus of the album. You got It's Only Smiles, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a upbeat, happy, sunshine and rainbows track that just puts a smile on your face for all 5 minutes and 33 seconds of the listen. You got Satellites, which is goddamn beautiful and dynamic. I could almost call it Periphery's Memento Mori, referring obviously to Architects. It's a pretty long and interesting track. You think that's long. You also got Crush, which has a weird 808 beat, creating this hot retro vibe groove throughout the whole song. And obviously you got Periphery's Odyssey for almost 17 minutes, Reptile, full of content, full of riffs, full of story, full of insane vocals, full of interesting groove, beautiful solo, ass-kicking breakdowns, and jazz fucking symphonic orchestra. If you are still somehow not convinced that this is a must in your life, then I'm afraid there's nothing that can help you. I have no issue with music for musicians. Technical, sometimes overwhelming, music like jazz for instance. You like jazz? Periphery's Hail Stan is beyond just technical and overwhelming. In fact, it takes those two words on a whole another wlevel of technicality and overwhelmingness. It's jazz metal in a nutshell. And there's no better mix of genres than jazz and metal. And if you think differently, you're wrong. As a whole, this album is not just worthy of a listen. It's worthy of a hail. Musically, it is advanced and technical, but not to the point when only crazy music snobs and elitists could enjoy it. I noticed that all of the songs during my first listen created a story in my head, a set of different pictures and visualizations of the sound. It is a great thing for music to be able to do that, to paint music into your brain and leave it there for quite some time. The story here is being told not exclusively by lyrics, but also by the music itself, as it's so dynamic, always changing and developing. This music has 9 songs, and it's still 1 hour long. Almost all of them are longer than average. You have 7, 9, and 17-minute songs that just somehow don't bore you to death. This is a great achievement to keep audience not just interested for that duration of time, but also entertained. Hail Stan is a solid album of the year contender for me. It is so obvious Periphery took their time to write this record and say fuck off to everyone and everything and just write music that they want to write, that they, as the way they see it, the way they want it to be. And even after a beautiful album closing track, after its phenomenal and relaxing outro, Periphery still reminds you why they are considered meme kings of metal industry. This is a must listen. No doubt, no hesitation. Go ahead and listen to it now. Suck my balls.